Hi, I'm Jason Sacamano. I've taught Advanced Pre-Calc Honors for the last 20 years or so, and I wanted to just give you an idea of what you can expect heading into this next school year. Here's what you can expect. First thing is the summer packet. So if you don't already have a copy of the summer packet, let us know or just Google it. You should be able to find it on the Creek website, and it's 5 worksheets. It's due the first day of school. Usually the teachers don't collect it until the second day of school, but technically it's due the first day, so they might collect it on the first day. Um, there's a quiz that's given on that summer packet, and it's usually given the third or fourth day of school. This has been the case for the last 5 to 10 years that I've worked with this class. Um, the first 3 worksheets contain factoring and simplification of fractions. That's what the first quiz is going to be on. The last 2 worksheets, worksheets 4 and 5, have logs and trig, and they usually don't put that on the quiz. That's going to be tested second semester. So you really just need to know the first 3 worksheets to do well on this quiz, and you want to do really well on this quiz. The reason you want to do well is it's the first thing your teacher is going to see. So always good to make a good first impression on your teacher. Um, the next thing about that is if you don't do well, it's usually, and you might have experienced this in a previous class, if you don't do well on the first quiz, usually talk about, is this class the right fit for you? Do you belong in honors? Maybe we should consider dropping down a level. And that's not a great way to start the year if you are hoping to remain on the most advanced honors track. Um, so uh, that's what I recommend. The next thing that I like to tell, and this is the last piece of advice that I like to give pre-calc honors students, and this year they're actually adding the term advanced pre-calc honors students because they're making both pre-calc honors and pre-calculus trig on honors credit this year. So they're adding the term advanced pre-calc honors. In the past, they've just called it pre-calc honors, but it's this year it's called advanced pre-calc honors. And what I tell students in this class is there's really 2 kind of phases to both first and second semester. Let's just talk about first semester now. There's the easy phase and the hard phase. Most classes are about the same difficulty throughout, but in this class, during the first phase, chapters 0, 1, 2, and 3, they review material from the previous year. So it's not total review. You need to pay attention because they're going to go in more depth and they're going to do harder types of problems. But they're going to review factoring, they're going to review graphing, they're going to review solving equations and inequalities, number lines, things like that. But they're going to go in more depth and give you maybe some harder examples. So it's still a challenge, but it's going to be, on material you've seen before. The real difficult challenge happens when you go into the second half of the semester, chapters 4, 5, and 6. Usually this begins around fall break. And then students who are even trying really hard will sometimes struggle to even, on some of these tests, not on all of them, but on some of the tests, get even a B, or they'll work really hard and get a C plus, because this is just really high level advanced material that you see during the second half. So I tell students, get a high A on the first half of this. And if you're enrolled with us, that's something we like to help students is really go above and beyond in this first section of material so that you can do really, really well when you get to that second section of material that's harder. You want to have some padding in your grade so that even if you do have one bad test down the line, it doesn't make or break your grade. You've got a solid A or a solid B or whatever your goal is going into that more difficult section of materials. And of course, going into the final, you don't want to be super stressed out. So it's always good to have your grade with some cushion going into the later part of the semester, especially in this class. And those are my main heads up in terms of pre-calc H. But as I see you guys coming up as the school year starts, I'd love to talk to you more and answer any more of your questions.